Belichick talked yesterday to the Niners beat writers. He did his weekly press conference, which was interesting. It's almost like he's too famous to do that, right? Like he would get on the call with us. Anyway, so what he did that was interesting. Few things. He praised Jimmy Garoppolo through the moon. He loves Jimmy Garoppolo, his personality, his family, his work ethic, everything. And then when he asked about Cam Newton, he gave the most perfunctory praise ever. Like, yeah, he's only been here for a little bit. I didn't even know him that well before he got here. I mean, if the players respect him, which is good, I mean, that was about all he would say about him. I was like, whoa. Now, Bill Belichick's he's very strategic. He historically praises the other team and doesn't praise his own very much. But it was I really believe that he would love to have Jimmy Garoppolo back right about now. And Cam Newton, Cam Newton got COVID. And one of the things with the Patriots is they've had outbreak after outbreak, and they haven't been able to practice the last couple of weeks. So that's part of the reason they've had problems. They should have a full week of practice, and they might be a little bit more competitive this week. But coming back, Belichick seems like, man, I really miss Jimmy. I really miss Jimmy. And the other thing he was saying is how great George Kittle is. This is the classic Belichick thing. He'll pick a player that he wants to praise through the moon. And he just said Kittle's the best tight end he maybe ever seen. There's nothing he's not good at. And from Kittle's perspective, he hears that's like, oh my God, Bill Belichick likes me. But what Belichick does is he shuts that guy down every time.
That's what he's telling you. I'm going to shut him down
every time. And he even said, it's hard. You can't try too hard to shut down Kittle because the Niners have other guys who can hurt you, Dad. They're going to shut him down. They're going to shut him down. It's going to be interesting.
Yep. Iggy, I have a few questions about Belichick because I don't know him at all. Yes. How long did he talk?
He gave us 15 minutes. He gave us 15 minutes. He wasn't talking like at ease and freely. He doesn't do that. It's so interesting. You'll ask him a question and there'll be like a 10-second pause where he's basically game planning. It's like, okay, what are you asking? What are you really asking? What's a fair answer? What's the most I can give you? What's the least I can give you? Okay. I love listening to it. Like, for example, people kept trying to ask him, what led to the trade of Jimmy Garoppolo? Can you take us back through the timeline? Who called who? And he would go, what are you really asking? What are you trying to get? And he'd go, you know what? That was 3 years ago. I don't really see the need to rehash all that stuff. He's a good player, but let's focus on the present. That's the same kind of stuff Jim Harbaugh would have done too. He's really savvy. And it's like he's playing defense. He's a defensive coordinator. What are you trying to get right now? Are you trying to get a 15-yard pass over the middle? Are you trying to get a touchdown down the sideline? I'm not going to give you that. I'm not. I'll give you something. I'll give you the check down over the middle and you'll be happy. But I thought it was really interesting.
I love it. Yeah. Now, Iggy, does he show any warmth or is he just businesslike?
Businesslike. If you get him to praise a player, he might go off and give some warm things to say about Jimmy Garoppolo, George Kittle. But if you ask him to praise his own players, not going to happen. Not going to happen. What do you really like about Cam Newton? Long pause. I mean, his teammates love him. He's a good, he's done some good things for us. It's like the bare minimum. And what I was thinking when listening to him is we were talking a lot about Kyle last week about his lack of charisma. Dad, he is emulating Bill Belichick. I swear. He sees himself as the next Bill Belichick. Everything that Kyle does, his tone, his demeanor is Belichickian. It is.
Did he seem put out, Belichick, that he had to talk to you?
Yes, but he did it anyway. And he was 15 minutes late. And he double booked us. He put us at a certain time, but he decided to take a radio interview anyway, and we had to wait. But he came and he gave us 15 minutes. And the other thing, every coach does it on Wednesday. Because by Wednesday, you've actually looked at the film of your upcoming opponent. Belichick didn't want to do it Wednesday. For whatever reason, it was more convenient for him to do it on Monday. So when we would ask him questions like, well, what have you seen from the Niners? What did you see in their game against the Rams? I haven't watched that film yet. I haven't looked at that yet. I know about the Niners in general, but we haven't watched their latest game. Well, great, Bill. Thanks. Maybe we could have got you on Wednesday.
Does he generally do it on Monday?
I don't know. I mean, this is the first time the Niners have played the Patriots in a long time.
Right.
I don't remember.
That's very interesting. It's actually not fair to do it on Monday.
No, it's not fair. But again, there was something about him doing it that was like, this is weird. Isn't he too famous for this? It was weird to have him on my phone, answering questions and having to listen to all of us and like actually do it. It was like, wow, I guess winning 6 Super Bowls doesn't make you exempt from this.
I'm going to say something very important, though. What I always felt as a journalist was, whose agenda am I on? I want in an interview to be on Lowell's agenda. Clearly what he did, his agenda, my day, my time, 15 minutes late. Don't want to talk about this. Been handled 3 years ago. We'll only talk about what I want and when I want on my agenda and my schedule. Now, it's not something as a journalist that I would appreciate, but in a way I admire it.
Here's the thing. I think Harbaugh tried to do the same thing, and you never allowed Harbaugh to get away with it. And what Harbaugh loved about you was that you were the only one who wouldn't accept his agenda, and that it was a fight. And to him, that those types of competition is the essence of life.
Right.
The essence of life. And the fact that these other beat writers wouldn't even want to compete on that level just confirms to him that they're not worth getting to know. They're not his kind of people. But you, it's like you see what he's doing. You're like, no, it's my agenda. And Harbaugh's like, oh, I'm expecting a mere non-athlete to have that kind of will. Nice. Okay, we speak the same language. I don't know if Belichick would appreciate you like that. I have a feeling that he's more a little bit like Darth Vader, where if you go against him, he'll try to ruin you and your whole family. But
that's right. That he might.
Yeah, but
I might really try to. Yeah,
but I think the whole world would have got a kick out of you covering Bill Belichick every day. That would have been so much fun. And Bill Belichick is lucky that he didn't have to deal with you. That's the truth.
By the way, he knew Ira Miller. And Ira one time he wanted to talk to Belichick, and he got in touch with Patriots PR. Belichick called him right back. That's how much juice Ira had. The idea, Belichick wouldn't call anyone. Ira, it's Bill, what do you need? That really happened.
Absolutely. I believe it. And one more thing. If Ira somehow got Kyle Shanahan's number and called him, do you understand how fast Kyle will call him back? Do you understand?
Yes.
Because Mike respects Ira.
They used to golf together. Mike and Ira. Together. Yeah.
Yes. So Ira's word kind of matters still.
Right. When he praises the Iggy.
And I got to say, Jed York is lucky that Ira doesn't cover this team anymore. Lucky that Ira doesn't cover this team anymore. If Ira kept covering this team into his 70s, it might have got to the point where Jed would have had to pay him off and be like, Ira, just take $2 million. Go to Chicago and retire, because it's worth more to me to give you this $2 million and have you leave than to have you cover my team for another day. He could have stuck it out and got a big payday. It's not necessarily ethical. I'm just saying.
I got one more Belichick story.
All right.
From a person who saw it.
Okay.
Belichick was playing in some golf tournament. It may have been, the AT&T at Pebble Beach. It may have been. This person I know was there, and Belichick, before the round started, he was just practicing, hitting drives or whatever. So a father and his little son waited very politely and patiently until Belichick started to walk away, and he said, Bill, could you please sign this for my son? I'd really appreciate it. There was no one bothering Belichick. He was totally alone with this father and the father's son. And Belichick said, can you catch me later? And the guy said,
I'm catching you now. I just caught you.
You'll be later.
Yeah.
Could you do it now? And from what I understood, Belichick walked away. Could you catch me later?
Like, I know this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. The next time you get this opportunity, then we'll do it.
Yeah, right. I mean,
yeah, God, I gotta walk over here right now. I was kind of planning on leaving and going about my life and never thinking about you again. So bye.
I did not see that, but someone who allegedly this happened. Someone who alleged to me that he was there saw that happen. And
what's interesting is like he's like in commercials now. Have you seen his commercials?
Yeah.
And they're trying to like give him a personality. What is that? He has no personality. He's like, what, is he like an ironic figure with his stone face? No, he's just. I still believe he's had a negative impact on the NFL. Every team has turned their
journalists.
Every team has turned their facility into Fort Knox because he did, and he's a lying, spying, cheating.
He's a
allegedly. He's gotten caught. So everyone is afraid. If we don't shut down, I mean, there could be drones spying on. I mean, who knows what kind of 21st century tactics he had.
He does have that reputation. I don't know how true it is.
As people act like he's turned football into modern warfare, where everything is at fair game, and you got to protect yourself 7 days a week, not just on Sundays. So
yeah. Iggy, didn't he once get caught with something with photos or?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. He got caught last year. One of his guys was videotaping the sideline calls of the Bengals,
and he said it was a mistake, right?
Oh yeah, it was a mistake. Yeah, they misinterpreted the rules, or yeah, it's great, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
one thing about Belichick, I look at his face. I've never actually seen him smile.
No,
he looks to me like he's a person who walks through life sucking on a lemon.
Yeah, like he's got that sour stomach. You know that feeling where it's almost a little bit like nausea, and you're like, oh, what like not eat breakfast? Like, I shouldn't have had that cup of coffee. That's what he looks like.
Yeah. Like, do you need milk of magnesia, Bill, or something?
Yeah. He needs milk of magnesia. So let's leave it right there. That's a good show. We went from a Napa cab to milk of magnesia in 60 minutes.
Maybe after the cab, you might need milk of magnesia.
Hey, it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. All right, Dad. I love you, and I'll call you in a minute.
You.
All right.
Hey.